Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm actually filming a new video. Can you freaking believe it? I can't hardly believe it. I've been trash at making videos recently. I'm making my comeback by doing books that I really want to read this fall because I actually have an announcement. Me and my good friend Brittany from Brittany and Books, you should go subscribe because she's awesome. We're gonna do a readathon that's really low-key for like a few months. It's that low-key that you can just have our little bingo board we made and slowly color in things that you read during that time period. And I have not been reading very much. I'm gonna have to up my game if that's even gonna work out. But the whole readathon is all about reading fantasy books in the fall. My whole book list today is based off of that readathon on how I want to read fantasy books. So every book here is a fantasy book. I'm a big fantasy fan, so that's not too hard for me to do if I actually get myself reading. Brittany is very rarely in the fantasy mood. So this is shocking. This was literally her idea. I can't believe she even like suggested this because the girl only reads contemporary romance. Here is the little bingo board that Alyssa made, one of our friends. I'll link her down below. She doesn't really post anymore, but it doesn't matter. It's so cute, and there's 25 challenges. I don't even think I'm going to read through all of them right now because honestly, you can look at them. I will put a tweet down below with the graphic so you can go download it if you want to print it out. And it's all about reading fantasy books, different fantasy books, and you can color it in on this bingo board. You can literally double up, triple up, quadruple up, whatever you freaking want because it is September 22nd to November 21st. If I do read, I might read not only fantasies, but these fantasies are the goal. And it's definitely not going to happen. I think I have 12 books here and there's 2 more that like mentally I want to read. So the first fantasy book I'm really excited to read is actually like I have an ARC copy. It's coming out September 14th. So it's about to be out. I was supposed to read it before, but whatever. I requested the ARC because I was that interested in it. But then I got in like a couple month reading slump. So we love that for me. I'm so unaccomplished with my life. The Lost Girls by Sonia Hartul. I specifically really wanted this because it's like a gay fantasy YA vampire book. Macy, shut up! Oh my gosh. The thing that I know about this, it's a vampire revenge story. So her ex-boyfriend, I'm pretty sure, she's trying to murder him. And I think possibly she's trying to steal his new girlfriend. It's 1987. Holy shit, I didn't realize this was historical. Like literally the only thing I know about it is she wants to murder her ex-boyfriend and like get with his new girlfriend or something, and has nothing to do with that. I think she just randomly falls in love with this girl, but she doesn't want everyone to hate her when she gets revenge on this guy. Who knows what he did to her? Like maybe he turned her into the vampire. Oh my god, he did turn her into a vampire. So she's pissed about it and now she's going to murder him. Getting over your vampire ex is as easy as killing him and stealing his girlfriend. I just love this idea so much. I want vampire books to be back. I love Vampire Diaries, not the books, but like the show. Like I love me some vampires if they're done well, and I just wish there was more books. And it's like gay, so I'm like really into this whole freaking scenario right here, and the cover is just gorgeous. It just struck me to my core. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, I need to see if I can request this ARC, and I successfully did, but then I haven't even read it. So the next book I'm really hoping to read this fall is one that like people are probably shocked I haven't even read yet. I'm so sorry. Big books are really scary right now, and that's the only reason I haven't read it. It's Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. It's so big. All of her books are so big. I love her books. Every time I'm reading her books, I'm in absolute joy. Macy, shut up. She just has characters that sweep me away, and this one especially is something I'm so excited for because it's the Last Hour series. This is the sequel to Chain of Gold. I love Chain of Gold, and it's the children of the characters from my favorite Cassandra Clare trilogy, the Infernal Devices trilogy. I love that trilogy so much, and like years ago when she like announced that this trilogy was even going to be a thing, it was the only thing that mattered to me in life. I'm like so here for it because some of my favorite characters, I get to see them as parents now, and then I'm actually falling in love with the children too. She has a way with making characters like so likable, and she has 200 million characters too, and I just fall in love with all of them, and I'm really trash for Cassandra Clare's books, honestly. But this one has been scary because it's so freaking thick. This is a historical fantasy too, I guess, because I think it's Edwardian England, and I really can't tell you much about what any of the plot is because You have to read The Infernal Devices just to read this trilogy. And yeah, I can't tell you shit. It's Shadowhunters. So if you don't know anything about Shadowhunters, they're half angel, half human, and they fight demons. So that's the whole freaking point of all of Cassandra Clare's books, pretty much, is these like mysterious shadow hunting people that murder demons to keep humans safe. The Shadowhunters don't all get along, is all I'm saying. And then some of them do, and they're so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. The next book I'm hoping to read is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. This is the third one in the Poppy War trilogy. I just recently finished what is the second one called? The Dragon Republic. The Dragon Republic. I recently finished that one, the second one, on audio. I want to get the audiobook again for this third one. I've listened to the other two on audio, but I own them too, and like I would follow along. It doesn't look as big as it is. It has like more Bible pages. It's definitely a chunky book, and that's why I haven't read it very quickly yet, because I really want to, and I feel like this one might be the best book in the whole trilogy. The Poppy War is like this high fantasy world based on Chinese history, I believe. Yeah, it's the history of 20th century China with a gripping world of gods and monsters to devastating, enthralling effects. It's really hard to explain, honestly. And this is the third one, so I can't explain this one. I don't even know what this one's about to be, honestly. But it's a lot of war, and like, I haven't loved it as much as other people have. I loved the first half of the Poppy War because it was like in a school, like a military academy, and she was trying so hard to be the best. And like, I just love little underdog stories like that. But then the second half of the novel is like so much war, and like we're always in a battle. It's a lot. And like, I kind of missed that little school atmosphere that I thought was going to be the whole book. But as I continue on, I am invested in characters like Rin and Naja. And I really want to see where their stories go, because they're such interesting characters with a crazy dynamic. And I want to see how that ends. The next fantasy book I am very interested in reading is A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. I wanted this one so bad. It came out this year. And really, I just know that it's fairies. It's urban fantasy, which shocked me. I thought this was going to be high fantasy. I believe like some of it is in like Canada. Yeah, Toronto. It's a lot of gay characters. I think every single character is a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I've seen really good reviews. I have no idea like what this is doing either. And you know, it's my first video back, so cut me some slack. I don't feel like explaining every little thing. I have homework after this too. So gouache. 4 queer teens, each holding a piece of the truth behind these murders, so I guess a bunch of murders start happening, as so many books do, must form a tenuous alliance in their effort to track down the mysterious killer behind these crimes. Not only is it urban fantasy with fairies that are gay, but it's a murder mystery! Like, that's everything that I like combined into one, and this cover, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is gonna be shit that I like. I really hope I'm right about that. It's such high expectations for myself to read all of these books. Because fantasies are chunkier. It's very rare that you come across a tiny little fantasy book. This readathon is 2 months for that freaking reason. And I'm in college. Like, how am I supposed to do this? I don't know, but it feels like fun to attempt. The next book I'm super excited to read because I've had this one on my shelves for a few months now, like whenever it came out. It is Legend Born by Tracy Dion. I'm excited about this one because this one takes place in North Carolina. I live in North Carolina. It's like on Chapel Hill University. I've been there so many times. It's like King Arthur mythology. It's urban fantasy as well. It seems like there's some weird like club/cult or something that's magical at this freaking school that's going on. A secret society of so-called legend-born students who hunt the creatures down. So what kind of freaking creatures are at this campus? I've been there many times and I have not seen a magical creature, but I really wish I've had. That would have been great. I want magic to be real. The main character, Bree, witnesses a magical attack on her very first night on campus, and it looks like that secret society of the legend-born people are the ones trying to take it down, and somehow King Arthur is involved. Honestly, I don't give a shit about King Arthur, like mythology or anything like that. The one book that I read like that, The Guinevere Deception, I didn't even like that much. So I'm hoping that this one has a spin on it that's very interesting with great, fun, dynamic characters that I fall in love with. Hopefully there's a romance too, because honestly, let's be real, I eat that shit up. But I'm really excited to support this author because North Carolina. Okay, she lives here. It gives me hope that one day I can be a freaking author from North Carolina. There's actually quite a few authors that like I like from North Carolina. So wins. It gives me hope. The next book I'm hoping to read is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Now, this one will be perfect for the fairy tale fantasy challenge. I could not think of another one. And Heartless is all about the Queen of Hearts and her backstory, her origin story. I've always wanted to read this. I've had it on my shelves for years. I'll probably listen to the audiobook because Brittany says the audiobook is super good. Whoa. And look how freaking beautiful the inside of this is. Like, I forgot that this looked like that. I just feel like this is gonna be a type of story that I love. I don't actually like Alice in Wonderland, the book. I've read it. It was weird. It was too weird. You know, it's supposed to be weird, but it's too weird. And like, I grew up watching the animated movie and the live action movie, and I just love both of those. I love Alice in Wonderland retellings. I don't like the actual book, so that's weird. But I feel like this could be good. Marissa Meyer, you know, she wrote the Lunar Chronicles, which is a classic YA series that I have so much love for. And you know, Queen of Hearts is crazy. Like, you watch any of those movies, she like literally off with your head type shit. She is coming for you. And I'm like, what is she gonna do to make me empathize with this freaking character? Because she literally batshit crazy in every freaking like rendition that I've seen. You know, the live action movie with the big ass head? I can never get over that big ass head. Like, why did they do that? I have no idea. I want to know who in production just was like, you know what would make this movie good? Making her head a freaking giant balloon. I don't know why they did that, but honestly, it's iconic. Like, we couldn't have that movie without the giant ass balloon head. Rant over. Next book I really want to read is Ray Bear by Jordan Ifonko. Oh, wow. The back of it is so beautiful. I don't think I've ever like actually looked at the back of it for some reason. So pretty. I'm pretty sure I got this on sale one day. It's definitely one of the fantasy books I want to read. It's actually smaller than some of the other ones, and I've seen the audiobook from my library. And I've downloaded it a couple times and I've never just actually opened it up and read it. Literally have no idea what this is going to do. I am so prepared for this video. Terry's Eye has always longed for warmth of a family. She was raised in isolation by a mysterious, often absent mother known as the Lady. Okay, Lady. When Terry's Eye comes of age, the Lady sends her to the capital of the global empire of Artsar to compete with other children. Oh, competing with other children. Instant thing that I love. You know, like Hunger Games, any type of competition in a book. It doesn't have to be fighting to the death. I just love competition books. To compete with other children to be chosen as one of the Crown Prince's Council of 11. If she's picked, she'll be joined with the other council members through the ray, a bond deeper than blood. That closeness is irresistible to Terry's Eye. But the Lady has other ideas, including a magical wish that Terry's Eye is compelled to obey. Kill the Crown Prince once she gains his trust. Okay, this shit sounds good. There's a competition aspect, and then the evil freaking idea of being forced to murder this Crown Prince because her weird ass, like, stepmother or something decided to tell her to do that. I love this idea. I remember now why I wanted this book. Like, honestly, it's just such a pretty cover. I've heard good things, so I was like, let's buy it. It's on sale. But now I know that this is gonna be good. I hope I love it. Like, shit. The next one I'm excited about is In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens. Now, I've had my eye on this for a bit because it's pirates! And honestly, I feel like there needs to be more pirate books. I love the Daughter of the Pirate King duology. Doesn't get enough love, by the way. I freaking love that shit. It's so much fun. This is also gay. So, like, honestly, we have so many wins already. And apparently there's mermaids involved in this book as well. I love mermaid things. I want to write a mermaid book myself. And it's a prince. Oh my gosh. So a prince on a pirate ship for some freaking reason. And they're both so freaking cute. This guy's ship's crew rescues a mysterious prisoner from a burning derelict vessel just a few days into the journey, and his world changes. Tal is surprised to feel an intense connection with the roguish Athlin. So when Athlin leaps overboard and disappears, Tal feels responsible and heartbroken, knowing that Athlin could not have survived the open ocean. Okay, so that's when the mermaids are coming in, is my freaking, theory. They're starting to fall in love and he just jumps overboard. What the frick is that? What is a siren like telling him to come to them or something? I think this is a standalone too, which honestly is concerning because fantasy standalones can be so bad. Like, honestly, there's just so much world building you have to do, and it takes away from the fact that the characters are normally undeveloped, and then the romance is so freaking like insta love half the time. I really hope this book doesn't fall for that common issue that I have with fantasy standalones. The next book that I'm hoping to read is for the middle grade challenge, because like I don't have that many middle grades. But Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. Now this is like a paranormal type thing. We're gonna say it's fantasy. There's a challenge that says paranormal fantasy, so I would think that this is paranormal fantasy. It is the sequel to City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. City of Ghosts was fine. I think I gave it probably 3 or 4 stars. It was just a fun time. It didn't feel as like detailed and extravagant as I wanted it to be, and that's solely because it's a middle grade. It would have been more to me if it was YA and we like dove deeper and like scarier. The whole point of this book is the main character, she can see ghosts, and she has like a best friend that is a ghost because she like was drowning at one point and almost died, and ever since then she can see ghosts. And her parents are paranormal activity enthusiasts. They have their own TV show, I believe, that like films about paranormal activity. They write books about it, and they are currently traveling around to the most like supernatural-ish cities to try to get on camera these ghosts. She keeps having to travel with them, and as she travels with them as a daughter who actually sees ghosts, and they have no idea that she can see them, and they're going to the crazy ghost-filled cities, she's experiencing a lot of ghosty things. I do want to continue the series. I don't know if like it's more than 2 books or not, but it's something that like, especially if I get the audiobook, I would love to just put it on in the background and see where this story continues, because it is a cute little middle grade, slightly spooky thing, but it's definitely not very scary. The next book that I want to read is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokski, and this one I got in my used bookstore, and guess freaking what? Someone sold their like Owl Crate book, which I've heard they've been doing shitty things recently, so that's not cute, but they sold their signed first edition of this book. That was an accident on my part for buying that book. There was 2 copies of this book. I almost bought the other one, and then I looked at this one and saw that it was a signed first edition, and it has a note from the author, and I'm like, that was so freaking lucky of me. This one is going to be for the challenge of found family, and I feel like there's honestly most fantasy books, like high fantasy books, or like a found family, people that aren't actually family, but they're so tight, they're so close to each other that they're pretty much family. And I've heard a lot of people describe this one as similar to Six of Crows with the found family aspect, and they're doing a heist. That's literally all I know about this, but I've heard some people say it's even better than Six of Crows, and I'm a person that like only gave it like 4 stars. If we can get me something even better than that, you know, because it wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but you know, I don't hate it or anything. A novel set in Paris during a time of extraordinary change, one that is full of mystery, decadence, and dangerous desires. So it's 1889 that this book is set. So this is another historical one, and there's like a challenge for historical fantasy, so I'm kind of covered with this. The city is on the cusp of industry and power, and the exposition universelle has breathed new life into the streets and dredged up ancient secrets. Here, no one keeps tabs on dark truths better than treasure hunter and wealthy hotelier Severin it's Severin, I cannot say his last name, but he sounds, just from his name and his description, he sounds fun. Is he the Casbreaker of this book? I don't know. When the elite, ever-powerful Order of Babel caresses him to help them on a mission, Severin is offered a treasure that he never imagined, his true inheritance. So it seems like a ragtag group of kids come together for a mission, for treasure, and you know, who couldn't have fun with that? I feel like it's gonna be a good time. I've heard a lot of good things, and I believe like the sequel or something came out recently. The next book is Ruin Song by Julia Ember. Literally, I was just scrolling through things and I put this on my book wish list, and someone got it for me, so that was so sweet. I wanted it because I believe it's witches and sapphic and fantasy, and that's all I needed to know. And it's purple, my favorite freaking color, and one of the challenges is read a book with purple on the cover because that's my favorite color. That's a shout out to me. In a world where magic is sung, a powerful mage named Cadence is forced to use her talents to torture her country's disgraced nobility at her ruthless queen's bidding. But when Cadence is reunited with her childhood friend, a noblewoman with ties to the underground rebellion, she must make a choice. Take a stand to free her country from a tyrant, or follow in the queen's footsteps and become a monster herself. Oh my god, now we have characters becoming monsters. I love characters that have like a dark side where they're almost like an anti-hero. This book could be my everything. I'm scared because it might be a standalone. Once again, I'm iffy about standalone fantasies. I feel like there's so much that can go wrong, but some freaking people can do it right, and that's why I continue to read them. So now, oh my gosh, I meant to talk about this earlier than now, but this shit is where it gets crazy. Because the other day I saw that the Dark Artifices trilogy was like $2 each. And there's 3 books. So I only paid $6 for the Kindle ebooks is what I'm trying to say. These books are so huge and annoying to lug around. I think I read this one twice because I reread it on audiobook before the second one came out. The other ones I have not read again. And I do love Cassandra Clare so much. And like, this is a trilogy that I did really enjoy as I'm reading it. But when I look back on it, I'm like, I don't remember fully like my feelings. I do know I love like characters like Ty. He was my favorite character, but I feel like I'm just so in love with the Infernal Devices trilogy that everything else she writes is just overshadowed by my love for that. And I feel like this is a really good solid trilogy and I really love it, and I would love the opportunity to reread it. Normally I would just do audiobooks, but sometimes I feel like I don't get the full experience with audiobooks because I will zone out. So when I saw the Kindle ebooks were so freaking cheap, I decided this would be the perfect thing for this readathon. One of the challenges is to read an entire series. This one is set more in modern day in Los Angeles, and it is set after her original Shadowhunter books, The Mortal Instruments. This one's set a few years after those. So once again, I can't really tell you much about this plot. We're just following our main character, Emma Carstairs. She's kind of like the female Jace Herondale, which is a character a lot of people love from the Mortal Instruments series. She's just really badass, and she has a lot of freaking issues going on in this freaking series. She's in love with someone she can't have. Like, legit, she can't have them, or absolute chaos will happen. So that's like the crazy shit about this trilogy, and it's so much fun. Like, there's so much freaking like tension and angst. Like, I love it. I think I had another book, but I don't feel like getting it out right now. The final book that I don't feel like getting out right now, I guess I'll just say it anyways, is Bright We Burn by Kirsten White. Now, this is the 3rd book in the And I Darken trilogy, and I read the other 2 recently, and I still haven't read this 3rd one, so it'd be a perfect time to do this in fall if I'm reading a whole bunch of fantasy books. I did the audiobooks for the other 2, so it can go by pretty quick, and I would like to read it soon before I forget everything that happens. I'm really bad at finishing series. This one is like based off of Vlad the Impaler, but in this book we have a gender bent version where Vlad is a girl named Lotta, and she's so interesting because holy shit, Vlad the Impaler, I barely know anything about him, but just knowing his name, Vlad the Impaler, that dude has murdered a lot of people. So Lotta is doing that, and it is cool that this book is like based off of actual real historical events. Obviously some things are going to be changed. One of our characters, Lotta's brother, he is gay, and like I don't even know what the time period of this is, but you know, people aren't okay with him being gay, so he has a huge mental battle with that because he's kind of in love like with one of his best friends who's like the ruler of a whole country, and it's really like difficult to read his perspective because like no one's gonna accept him at this time period. He does know someone else who is, but like those are the only people that are gonna accept him is other people that are also in the community. No one else is gonna understand, so I feel for him so hard. He's such a little bean. Like he's the best character if we're talking about like good person wise. Lotta's the most interesting though, because like what is going on with her? Like she is so evil sometimes, but that is freaking it. Those are the books that I'm hoping to read. It's never going to happen. I have so much homework, and I shouldn't even be filming this video right now because I haven't even done my homework yet, and it's 7:30. I haven't even had dinner. What am I doing? But it's okay. I'm at least hoping to read at least a chunk of these. Maybe I'll see how many challenges I can double up, triple up, quadruple up, you know? Let me know down below if you're interested in joining Fantasy Fall. There's not anything you have to sign up to do. Like literally, you can just print out the bingo board and that's you participating, and just color it in when you're done. It is September 22nd to November 21st. Join in, let us know if you're interested, and I guess I can do reading vlogs along the way because it's a 2-month period. It would be nice if I could give y'all some updates on how it's going. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm so glad to be back. I didn't even get that sweaty in this video, so I feel very pleased with myself. Like this video, comment down below, have a good day. Please subscribe, make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below, and go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should already clicked, and goodbye.